This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for March 20th, 2019. We had the FOMC, right? We discussed yesterday that will probably be in a bit of a wait and see until we get some kind of news on this, some kind of clarity. And market doesn't like uncertainty, so once it got the news, right, especially that the rates would remain unchanged, right, market liked that, and we got the pop. So SPY was a little bit weaker prior to the pop, and then not able to get to new highs. So the Q showing a little bit of relative strength here. Okay, so we were looking at this support on the SPY, 280.30, which proved to be support here prior to the pop. That's where it kind of held and then got the move up. It'll be the same area that we're looking at tomorrow on the SPY. On the Qs, we ran up to new highs, so we'll be looking at this pivot, so today's low on the Qs, okay? Break of that, right, and then we'll shift to a neutral bias. So bullish on the Qs, more neutral on the SPY because it was showing relative weakness, looking like we want to do a lower high here, but the dailies on both remain bullish, okay? So we really can't be bearish on the SPY until this pivot gets taken out. The most aggressive that you can be is expect a breakout, no follow through, and then that would turn into a breakout failure. But being too aggressive on those so far has not worked this year. So we'll just have to wait and see until the Qs and SPY in the daily uptrend to shift our long-term bias. And then the short-term bias is going to be neutral to bullish. A little bit more bullish on the Qs, neutral on the SPY. Once we break underneath here, you could start to be a little bit more aggressive, looking for a short entry. And then this Qs will be a little bit tougher. Once we break this pivot here, there'll be more support to the left. Okay, so neutral to bullish on the short term and bullish on the long term. Okay, so let's go over the plays from today. There were only 3 plays, I believe, that triggered. I know for me, the only thing I called was the GIS in the morning, so I'll go over that first. This was the focus. If you were in the room, you saw this GIS mentioned many, many times, and that was because it was my #1 gap up, and then the favorite gap down was FDX, but it showed a little bit too much strength, and so I decided to focus on the GIS. First time I gave it was over here, 48.60 by 48.30. Was a little bit spready, did open late, so I didn't catch it. I just gave it to the room, and that popped well. And then once this came back in and gave us a buy setup, then we played it. Okay, over 95 because it's just, I needed that time to get the play in, you know, because this is all happening in the first few minutes. So on a play like this, right, that means once we break 95, you're going to be in 96, 97 maybe, and if it takes out 55, you'll be out, and then your target is 49.50. Now, to be honest, the 49.50 was just pure guessing because we were into void. It did end up being the high of the day, and we did trail as we got up there, but we were kind of into void. There was this piece here to the left that I wanted to see us close potentially, but that was quite a ways away. So that wasn't really what I was shooting for as the first target. So that first target as a 49.50, just kind of got lucky on that. I was just thinking the whole number up a decent amount and looking to trail. And so, and then the back half was trailed break even as it came in. Okay, so nice front half, back half was break even. And then I was watching it into the afternoon, kind of waited to see if we were going to get some kind of better semblance of an uptrend. But this ended up just coming in instead, so no play on the GIS. And so I didn't really do much during the FOMC announcement and leading into that, or during lunch, as I usually don't do much during lunch as far as initiate new plays. But the SCS I did miss, so I did want to kind of show you this. The SCS was a 2-minute sell setup on a gap berry, and this was very, very good. Yeah, pretty sweet. Gap up, clear resistance, and then immediately go the other way and break support. So this is the kind of thing that if you were in it long, you were quickly disappointed and had to react. if you were short, this gap up might have gotten you shaken out. You were thinking, oh, it's gapping against me. I can get out at a decent price, maybe not too damaging. And then as it starts to go, you realize, oh, it was just a shakeout. I need to get back in or I'm going to miss the move. So that helps fuel this kind of move lower amongst the market participants. There was also a 15-minute sell here in the afternoon. I left this just as an idea. I did not call it, and I also didn't play it. I felt like it had moved a lot already, but that ended up working out okay. I think it was like 45 by 65, so that's 20-cent stop. So almost 2 hours. Yeah, that's a good play. Back to the lows. That's the target. You just close it out at the end there. Sammy had a play on the TME, which I also did not get on the first move here that they played. They stayed in it all day, and then I think some people also joined on this breakdown here, and that's where I joined. I got filled, I think, 77 or so. Not too bad, and then eventually trailed, I think, around. I trailed around like 40, 54. But kept going a little bit more into the close. Didn't want to hang out too much in this. But good gap, good follow through, and pretty good management. Sorry, take that GIS off. Although it's just covering up the volume, it's not all that important. So nice follow through there on the TME. I know they kind of took a while for it to get going from the morning. And then Mark had a play also on the NTNX off of the highs here that they shorted. So yeah, so it was a really nice contribution from all the moderators today, and all plays will be given in this format where we will give you the entry and the stop ahead of time, and then the targets as soon as it triggers, so you can know what the expected reward to risk is going to be. Okay, so that was the same for the NTNX, for the TME. You know, if that's the kind of thing that you think easy for you to follow along with to play, there is a current promotion going on. Just check the link. It says for more information on how to join the room. Just check out that link and you can see the promotion that is currently being run for the room. Yeah, that's how we do things. You know, everything is given to you ahead of time. Stop, entry. You know, we're not kind of just saying maybe this will do this, maybe this will do that, and then hiding where we get in and then telling you after the fact. You know, there's a lot of that stuff which helps people, I think, seem like better chart readers after the fact. But no, all plays get managed either until they get to their targets, till they trail, or till they stop out. And so you know, full transparency on all plays that get called. And so stuff a day like today, I thought was, you know, I think a benefit, even if you didn't play the plays, but to know what to focus on, right? The GIS came up, was called in the first few minutes, triggered in the first 5 minutes, right? That was given as a pre-market focus prior to the open. Okay, and then, you know, the TME, I think, triggered later in the morning and then had another play. Let's see, when did this TME break down? TME broke down. I know it was in the last hour because it was on the mic. Yeah, 30 minutes before the close. This SCS was also in the last hour or so, right? And I just felt like through the middle of the day wasn't much to do, and this kind of volatility on the Qs, right, is the kind of thing that you can get kind of pushed around in. You can have some nice plays get completely reversed. The shorts get reversed on stuff like this. So, you know, it's, in my opinion, the professional approach to avoid kind of these kind of gambles, whether or not it goes higher or lower kind of thing, and focus on your strategy. Unless, you know, playing FOMC is your strategy, is you know, something that you consistently play. But since it's not for me, I play the gaps and the patterns, knowing that this kind of volatility will pick up going into this time. There's no surprise that it's going to be coming out at 2 o'clock. Then I just, you know, wait for my play to show up, wait for my pitch to show up. And so that will be something like the TME breakdown or the SCS. Okay. So, like I said, if it's something that interests you, check out the link in the description. Otherwise, we'll see what the market brings us tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. All right? Have a great evening. Hope you had a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right? Good night.